There are about 8,000 vacant and abandoned properties in Louisville. They can not only be a nuisance to neighbors, but also potential fire hazards. One Metro partnership is helping to address that problem. And a record number of homicides in 2016 has LMPD looking into new technology, which may help save lives in Louisville. All that and more is coming up on this episode of the 502 Report. A sizable HUD grant could help restore the vibrancy of one Louisville neighborhood. Hello and welcome to this episode of the 502 Report. Residents in the Russell neighborhood have seen their share of businesses close and the neighborhood change over the years. City officials hope this Choice Neighborhood Grant reminds people of Russell's past and its potential.
I was born by the river.
This used to be a thriving neighborhood.
In a little tent.
We had many businesses owned by Afro-Americans.
Came back home from college. A lot of things had changed. A lot of places that used to be thriving had been shut down.
The public housing site needs to be redeveloped because of its age. Beecher Terrace was built in 1940. You don't have central air conditioning. The plumbing hasn't failed, but it's close to failing. And it's time to redesign the site and provide better housing for the people who live here now.
It's been a long time coming, and a change is gonna come.
The Russell neighborhood is on the brink of another renaissance. Your efforts are paying off. I am proud to announce that we are awarding the Louisville Metro Housing Authority and the Louisville Metro government with a $29,575,000
We've been working on this a long time.
Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant.
Russell does need transformation. I'm feeling a lot of weight came off my shoulders. Just talking to the residents, letting them know that things are going to come, changes are going to be made. Finally feels good to be like, we did it, work we put in, paid off.
We all know concentrated poverty usually leads to crime, poor health outcomes. So the ability to transform this through this Choice Neighborhood Grant Program with the federal government, boy, it all came together in this way. Big day for the city of Louisville.
I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Louisville has thousands of vacant and abandoned properties. Not only can they be a nuisance for neighbors, but a potential fire hazard as well.
44% of fires in District 1 started in vacant properties. These fires tend to cause more damage since they are not reported as quickly and often spread to occupied homes.
I worry about it all the time. When I hear people next door and they be over there cooking and whatever they doing over there, and I'm thinking it's gonna probably burn up and catch my house on fire.
Nothing that gets a lot of attention, but it is devastating to that person in their world.
So the Office of Performance, Improvement, and Innovation called upon the civic hacker community to help out, and that's just what they did.
How do we take something that already exists and use it in a novel way? We've taken this combination of technology that already existed and repackaged it to solve a new problem, and that is truly the definition of hacking.
So we got the solar charging circuit with the particle.
The fire department was really instrumental because they understood the problem very well and knew some pitfalls with how the devices would work.
The hackers at Level 1 developed a product and software that can detect fires in vacant homes and notifies authorities, all using wireless technology and a simple smoke detector.
The device we call Casper is to let it listen to basically any smoke detectors. If we try to modify the smoke detector to work with the device directly, like with a wire, then we've affected the reliability. That was the motivation for having this device work basically off of sound only. I definitely got the fire alert this time.
It feels a whole lot safer because I worry about it all the time.
The city is certainly concerned with the safety of its residents. That's its number one priority. And part of that priority is making sure that folks who live near vacant properties, it's not causing a problem for their livelihood as well.
I'm glad you got the smoke alarm. It's great.
We're looking forward to expanding this. It would save several thousand people from damage, from having to be on the street, not having a home anymore.
Following one of the most violent years in Louisville history, the Metro Police Department is investing in technology to better help track gun-related crime.
I hate not being able to sleep at night because I hear gunshots. Growing up as a kid, we were able to play outside without being in a dangerous environment. We were able to play outside until the street lights came on, and that's when we knew that we would have to go in. Before I committed my life to Christ, I lived a lifestyle of just reckless behavior. Many of my friends that I grew up with, that I went to school with, are either incarcerated or dead. As I got older, I got more wise about choices and people that I hung with and decisions that I made. And it just prepared me when I did have my own children. Hey, this is not what I want you to do. Goofball, I love you. Where your bird go? I found out about the Scholar House. I started to attend the meetings. I started to call and then do everything that I could to get involved in the program. Next semester, I will be able to graduate, get my associates.
I heard stories from my father, who grew up here, about what Parkland used to be like. Actually, my nieces go to the daycare that's right up, just a block up here, my 4 nieces. The people in this community know what it's like to have to listen to gunshots ringing out, to feel their blood pressure rise, and to have to duck to the floor to take cover. This is real for the people in my community. If people cannot feel safe in the neighborhoods that they live in, what do we have? Nothing. I began a research project. I found gunshot detection technology.
We're in the Louisville Metro Police Real-Time Crime Center, where we monitor our fixed surveillance cameras across the city. Gunshot detection technology is actually a fairly simple acoustical process. When we get gunshot detection technology and it gets integrated with the cameras, our analysts will be able to take a look at what's going on directly from here. You have a number of microphones placed strategically in an area. Gunshot goes off, the microphones triangulate the sound, then they send it to a computer system that analyzes it, determine whether it's an actual gunshot or not. That's then verified by a human. The police department is then notified of the exact location of the gunshot. Within 60 seconds, that will be relayed to on-the-ground personnel.
They found suspects still at the scene when they've gotten there. They have found victims whose lives they've been able to save. And then they've also been able to begin the conversation with residents in the neighborhood more swiftly.
Because we're going to know exactly where the gunshot was, it's going to increase our ability to capture evidence that we can then use to link to known offenders who have used the weapons and weapons that have been used in other crimes.
A lot of people that do live here that notice it, they're afraid to speak up and they're afraid to talk about the problems that they do see.
We absolutely want people to continue calling 911. This isn't a substitute for that, but what it does is for those who are either resigned to the fact that this just happens so often that it's not worth calling about, or people who are too afraid to, this is going to increase our ability to respond to things that they know we need to be responding to. Nobody deserves to live in a neighborhood where gunfire is normal.
If I hear gunshots, that means somebody's getting shot at or somebody's shot. That's something that I pray about all the time.
There's so much life and vibrancy right here in the heart of this community. It is in their bones how much they love this neighborhood. With love sometimes comes a feeling of great responsibility.
I would not run from a neighborhood that I know that needs help. Anything is worth a try. This is where I was born and raised. The West End of Louisville needs assistance, needs more people to step up, to have the determination to make a difference for this neighborhood. Changes will come.
If we want to prepare our young people for successful careers, we have to start very early and support them along the way. And that's the goal of Mayor Fisher's Cradle to Career initiative.
Cradle to Career is a community-wide initiative that recognizes our city value of lifelong learning. This is a system that feeds together. So it starts with early care and pre-kindergarten, making sure kids are ready for kindergarten. Right now, our disadvantaged kids are showing up 3 years behind our advantaged kids, and it's really hard for them to catch up.
We're really all about getting that start right for as many kids as possible. Kindergarten readiness is a critical crux point. We want all of our kids to bound up the steps. That's why we support a lot of early care and education programs, the Excellence Academy.
What happens if it falls? What are we going to do? The Excellence Academy is a great program and partnership that we have with Metro United Way and Community Coordinated Childcare.
Can I have some yarn too, please?
They provide a lot of extra support to our staff, which in turn supports the children.
Cammy, where would you like to go?
We've got to foster the creativity that the children have.
You want to go to dramatic play? You want to go to art?
If we tell them how to do things, they will never be able to figure out things on their own.
What are you making today, Henry?
What we're doing is working.
You want the red one?
We know that what's happening in those classrooms with those children are working. They're at least showing up to school ready. And when we think of ready, it's not necessarily that they can count to 10, which they can, but that they are critical thinkers. They're good problem solvers. Social-emotionally, they can sit and interact with their peer as well as an adult.
The kids that arrive ready to learn are much more likely to succeed in school. If they succeed in school, they're much more likely to have better income over their lives. If they have better income over their lives, they're much more likely to enjoy better health and, in fact, live longer.
Ensuring kids are socially and academically prepared for kindergarten can help lead to better success in kindergarten through 12th grade. JCPS is working to address some of the stressors that can come up.
Students did not know what to do with all the anger that they had built up. Profanity in the classroom, in the hallways, yelling out, slamming doors, throwing chairs.
Students were not making those appropriate choices.
Hands on your anchors. Excellent job.
We were one of the 3 pilot schools for the Compassionate Schools Project.
All right, let's begin. Inhale, because of the reading and the math and the social studies, we were missing something and how to deal with behaviors. And exhale. And so this compassionate piece really teaches the kids, enjoy the stretch, how to de-stress.
You may begin.
We've seen a tremendous decrease in number of students who are in crisis, and actually what a crisis looks like now has decreased.
Read this.
We want our children from the minute they step into our doorways to know that graduating from high school is not an option, that they certainly will, and that there are options past high school for furthering their education.
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am capable.
I am capable.
I am a leader. Excellent job today.
Preparing students for college and ensuring they graduate is the next step.
As a community, we launched 55,000 degrees, recognizing that we needed more specific skills in the community with this goal of having 55,000 more degrees, either 2-year or 4-year degree. 50% of our adults then would have some type of degree. So we started about 38% of our adults had a degree. We're now at 44.7%. The national average is 41.7%. So we've really outperformed the country in a dramatic way, and that's why you're seeing all this economic growth that's taking place in our city. So our biggest problem right now is we have 30,000 open jobs. It's a question of needing more skilled positions and then also making sure that everybody in the community, regardless of where you live, is along for this economic ride as well.
All those years of preparation doesn't always guarantee graduates a job.
I want to start off with the functional resume templates.
The MTech class stands for the Manufacturing Training and Employment Connection.
As soon as I seen what all it offered, I signed up for the class.
There is another style of resume.
Participants can earn 5 certificates: safety, OSHA, lean, career readiness, and forklift training.
It's a great opportunity because it opens up so many different doors.
Make sure you know who your audience is.
Now you have so much more that you can add onto your resume.
There's a gap between the skills of current people and some of the jobs that are in demand.
You learn from that experience and how you can improve on that.
This training program was created in partnership with our over 140 different employer partners as a way for folks to get those certificates on their resumes and have the ability to get connected with that manufacturing employment in the higher pay scales with better benefits.
It's actually free. That's the part that is the best thing about it. It's upon you and your willingness. If you're willing to do it, they have it here ready for you.
It's about creating a love of learning that lasts for a lifetime. And that is a powerful force. And you unleash that in a child, you got magic going on.
Success is attainable by everyone with that hard work, perseverance.
As we're successful with this as a city, and we have success within all the pillars that have been taking place right now, we will be very well prepared and in a much better competitive position than other cities to compete in this global economy that we have now.
A new innovative public-private co-working space is now open next to the Science Center on Main Street.
We are standing in the embodiment of all of the civic innovation work that has gone on before in the past 5 years.
Employees from the city's Office of Performance Improvement and Innovation now have a larger space to plan and create together and room for others to join in the process.
When people ask me what the Louis Lab is, I try to explain to them, well, the physical space is very important. And in fact, I think that this will help accelerate our work because we'll now have a dedicated space for us to be able to discuss, collaborate, and build and co-create those breakthrough innovative solutions.
The conference space is open for the community to use, and Simral hopes small groups of makers, hackers, and innovators will take advantage of it.
It seems like everywhere you go, there's construction traffic and delays. How is that helping the city?
First day, they started wrecking things. Half the hotel was out here watching it. They're working so fast, they wipe out huge sections in a day's time. It's really incredible to watch it.
Progress being made.
It was a little dusty the first few days, but after that, it was fine.
It's a disruption, I admit that, but what it's doing is creating opportunity for folks. So we'll get through it.
Living in the city, the noise doesn't really bother me. Every now and then I'll walk by and, check out the progress. So they seem to be moving along very quickly, actually.
You can see construction, it means people are investing and they believe in our city.
Louisville's definitely a city on the move, and we think it's Louisville's time right now.
I'm really excited about the progress that's happening right here at the Omni construction site.
Dirt's moving, cranes are up, that's going on. There's another $9 billion of potential activity within the Metro Louisville area, which is just really exciting. We're going to have 612 finally appointed guest rooms. You're going to have 225 luxury 1- and 2-bedroom rental apartments, as well as a number of food and beverage outlets. There's going to be 2 rooftop pools, 2 health clubs, 1 for the residential units, one as well for the hotel, full service spa. When you're in Louisville, Kentucky, you want to feel like you're in Louisville, Kentucky. You don't want a cookie cutter hotel. Kentucky International Convention Center that's going to open a few months after we are is really going to be a game changer for downtown. So when we open in 2018, we're going to have a brand new hotel and residences here. We'll have the Kentucky International Convention Center. In addition, you're going to have a number of residential apartments that are online right now, and the cranes are moving with development. We're going to have a number of urban bourbon experiences that are open in 2018. By the time we open, we'll have 10 of those downtown. It's really going to be a game changer collectively in the city.
So a lot of folks are making a big bet here on the Derby City.
I think it's great for the community, and I also believe that it'll help bring more jobs to the community in Louisville itself.
Hopefully we'll be able to compete with some bigger, better cities.
It's something we're going to be able to show off for a long time and pull more people into our city and create economic activity and opportunities.
The completion of the East End crossing signifies the end of the Ohio River Bridges project, the beginning of an easier commute for many residents, and also the beginning of tolls.
Construction on the Ohio River Bridges project is finally coming to a close with the opening of the East End crossing, which now has an official title.
Great feat of engineering, planning, design, and construction, nearly 50 years in the making. We also celebrate a feat of collective action across state lines, across party lines, over many years.
State and local officials joined those who'd worked on the project for its dedication ceremony.
I also want to thank the hundreds of men and women who have worked so tirelessly here over the last 4 years to bring this project to fruition. Over 3.5 million man-hours have been expended, and women hours, making this project a reality.
In Ford vehicles and TARC buses, they then led a caravan of 500 vehicles, including bicycles, across the bridge. About 8 miles of new roadway now connects Jeffersonville, Indiana with eastern Jefferson County.
It connects people. It connects people to jobs and people to economic opportunity and a better quality of life. It literally is connecting the present with our future.
It's a vital connection for many commuters, one that came in under time and under budget.
What a great accomplishment this is for the entire region. You have so much reason to be proud. This is a moment that you can marvel in. We congratulate you for investing in your future and for the future of this country.
We've had a number of accidents that would happen in Spaghetti Junction every single day because we are over capacity. We have a lot of weaves, a lot of tangles.
Where there's a very short merge lane and people are trying to jump like 5 lanes to get over, they'll like smash each other, run into each other, and it just becomes a mess.
For Charlestown, Indiana resident Kendall Boyd, getting to his office downtown usually takes about an hour.
Now that the Lincoln Bridge and the Kennedy Bridge are kind of opened up, it's about 20 minutes less.
We will have 3 tolled bridges.
This new system is a way to pay off the $2.3 billion cost of the Ohio River Bridges project.
You never stop. You never slow down. There are no buckets. There's no rolling down the window and throwing coins in. So it keeps traffic moving, which is fantastic.
Tolls will vary depending on vehicle size and payment options.
To get the lowest rates, whether you're an individual or whether you're a business, you have to have a transponder. To get a transponder, you need a Riverlink account.
Now, people do have a few options when setting up a Riverlink account. They can visit one of 2 Riverlink locations, one behind me here on Main Street and one in Indiana, or they can go online to www.riverlink.com. You can pick one of 2 types of transponders.
This one is the Riverlink local transponder. This is the free option.
The other transponder costs $15, but it's movable from car to car, and it can be used with the Easy Pass system in 16 states. With a transponder, drivers will be paying the minimum amount for tolling, $2 each way. Vehicles not registered with the Riverlink will be charged $4 each time they cross the bridge.
That's going to leave 2 toll-free options for drivers to cross the river, and that will be the Clark Memorial Bridge and the Sherman Minton Bridge.
Welcome to this newly renovated terminal here at Louisville International Airport.
There's a lot more, looks like food choices and stuff to see, especially when we have layovers here in a little bit of time.
I think you'll experience a much brighter, much more open, more contemporary look and feel, more welcoming terminal here. So it's a real statement about the essence of Louisville, what makes our community unique and special.
Once the construction's done, I think it's going to be great, and looking forward to see what all is going to be in the airport.
One Metro employee has an unusual hobby that's getting him some national attention.
It's hard to miss Gary Budd in his day-glow yellow safety gear. Gary is a Louisville Metro employee, doing his part on the vacant and abandoned lots crew.
Cut grass, weed eat, drive the Bobcat, garbage like this. So garbage, trash.
He doesn't wear yellow to stand out. He's just doing his part to clean up the city.
We've had people watching or standing out after we get done. They come out and tell us how thankful they are for, us cleaning it up, helping fix or clean part of the neighborhood, or just doing our part, I guess.
What do Gary's coworkers think about him?
He's definitely got a screw loose.
Bring in a nice U of L poster, hang up.
There you go.
The color that really gets Gary noticed is red. Lots of red.
Wait, no, come here. Quit dirty. You get that side, I'll get this one.
Meet Gary Redbird.
Where's Gary? Where's Gary? Where's Gary? Where's Gary?
Doing his part as a University of Louisville Cardinals fan.
Just wild, passionate about U of L sports and gets the crowd going. He's in there, man.
Probably the craziest U of L fan I've ever met in my life.
He's something of a fixture at U of L sporting events.
Two dudes had their faces painted, and I sat behind them, and they were a student group spirit group through U of L called the L Raisers. They told me come to the next game, paint it up, and get rowdy. So I showed up the next game with my entire body painted. I walked out of the house and I wonder what people are going to say. Me walking in, this crazy guy with no shirt on.
Out there with no shirt on, painted completely red. I go, I know that guy.
Neighbors were laughing, pointing, and giving me a hard time, but I can get other people involved and, get other people up and cheer and make it fun for everybody and just keep it rowdy and loud.
His devotion even won him recognition as the best fan ever from USA Today.
Somebody tagged me on Facebook or something about a contest and best fan, and sat around and thought about some stuff to write. You got to write a paragraph and had to upload a picture. We were actually on break. Well, I look at my email and it's the email telling me that I won the contest. I tried to keep it under wraps and didn't say nothing to nobody. Didn't text my wife, nobody in the family. I got home and I sat around and I was just kind of real fidgety, and like my wife walked in and was like, how's work? And we're there, 15, 20 of my relatives, and I pulled up Facebook Live, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go live on Facebook right now. The results are in for the contest. Let me check them out. I acted like I was pulling my email up and doing the live, and I told everybody, and they went ballistic.
Always cheerful and fun-loving and loves life.
He can do it for as long as he wants to do it, and whatever makes him happy. And being the Redbird makes him happy.
Until paint do its part.
From vacant lots to fields of competition, you can be sure Gary Budd, or is that Gary Redbird, will be doing his part.
Doing my part, I guess, as a big fan, a diehard fan. I like to call myself a diehard fan because, you know, rain, sleet, snow, hail, we go.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.
Metro TV, a public service of Louisville Metro government.